Hey everyone, it's iWushock with another video in my information series. I want to start with a brief apology on it being so long since my last video. I've been sick and unable to record, but I'm all better, so let's get started. Today is Tier 8 Familiars. These familiars can be gotten in zones from Cambora down, World Boss Tier 8 down, and the 5th raid. Again, I'm not going to be going over every familiar, but more so just the ones you might want to keep an eye on when you're in this tier, and I will only mention ones that can be obtained from within that tier. So for example, Pinguida has familiars used in Tier 1, but you can't get them until much later, so they won't be mentioned until then. If you missed my other videos, check them out, as those familiars will carry you through this tier as well. Without further ado, let's jump right in with familiars found in Tier 8. I do want to make a special mention of Wallog. I talked about him last video, but he does need a familiar from Tier 5. Additionally, there was no new world boss in Tier 8, so there are no familiars from there that I'll talk about today. First up is Globulus. They take the goos and blubber to make a decent DPS for the tier. They have a built-in 22.5% damage increase, so their brains will also be stronger. Their stamina is at a good level, and they have multiple ways to deal out damage. Unfortunately, aside from the one drain skill, they have no sustain, so you will be relying on brains for that. Overall, nothing really to write home about, but not a bad option from within the tier. Next we have Skort. Skort is spicy. 22.5 damage reduction, so the exact inverse of Globulus, and a decent chunk of health, just a little over double. They can take hits and take them well. They have some good self-sustain, but nothing for the team. With some augments, you can reach some really high damage reduction numbers, and they will survive a ton of hits. Not a familiar I would stick around to grind for necessarily, but absolutely worth looking at if you need a tank and you're stuck in this tier. A better tank option, though, might be Lobo. Did you skip Hilarious and want to have a deflect tank? Well, Lobo has the same amount of deflect, but significantly more health, so if it doesn't proc deflect, they're going to live longer. They have a 1 SP heal self to help sustain them. Honestly, with as much health as they have, the lower power won't be that big of a detriment. The biggest downside though is they do take a raid familiar. I'd put Hilarious above them, but again, within this tier, they are amazing. Moving into Raid 5, we have yet another tank, Xander. They take a raid familiar and a dungeon boss, but give you your first look at an Absorb tank. Absorb has super low numbers, but it stops both the attack and heals them for the value of the attack. 35% health leaves a decent amount to be desired for a fully defensive option like this, but with RNG on your side, it's possible to have a limitless health pool. Just like every other familiar in this tier, don't target farm them, but if you happen to have some of them already, you could do worse. The final familiar I want to mention is Fernel, and they suck. They take a raid enemy and a raid goblin and are the definition of a glass cannon. 3.2% health. Yes, 3.2. That's 1, maybe 2 hits and they're dead. But why do I mention them? Aside from the insane health that's just fun to mention, they are very fast and do a metric ton of damage. They have a shield self to try and help a little, but that brings them into 2 hits and dead territory. You don't want them on your team pushing flags, however in PvP they can shred opponents. Like all the others from this tier, do not target farm them, but if you do get that raid goblin, why not have a wild card for PvP? Those are all the familiars I wanted to mention from Tier 8. Not many great options, but a few interesting ones to look at. Is there a familiar you think I skipped over that I should have been including? What are your favorite familiars? Let me know in the comments below, and good luck on your grind for the best familiars. Another place for more information on these, help finding friends for the games, and even get free in-game items like Ultra Gores and XXL packs, check out the Discord linked on my profile. It's the official Bitverse Discord filled to the brim with players hyped about the whole Bit Heroes universe. Weekly movie nights, weekly chances to play games with myself, other members of the community, and the community managers, as well as more knowledge than you can shake a stick at. If you get lucky enough with giveaways, you can play like a pay-to-win player without spending a single dime. I hope to see you there, and thanks for hanging out today. If you want to support me in getting better equipment or making more videos, check out the link in my channel, and don't forget to like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe if you want more, and I will see you in the next video.